Uh, Hello again, everyone. My name is Anastasia, and I'm a CRM consultant for Integras. And I'm really happy to welcome you all at today's new episode of the webinar series dedicated to creating Sugar CRM as a single source of truth. Today we are talking about bots. Let's start from the small background. We all love messengers for the fast direct communication, so we got used to using them frequently, just by typing whatever we need to ask or request, and we expect to receive an instant reply. Sorry. So most companies are trying to turn this messenger's usage by the target audience into the competitive advantage that would help a company to retain customers, providing outstanding customer experience. While delivering great customer experience via messengers, companies has to set up a path to overcome some challenges. And the first challenge is that communication is omnichannel. I suppose most of us have live accounts in numerous apps: Facebook, Instagram, chat, WhatsApp. Therefore, a person can try to communicate through most of them. So for the sake of improving customer experience, the company has to sum up omnichannel collaboration into a single and up-to-date customer profile picture, aka single source of truth, prior to making any outbound activities. The second challenge is that messenger inquiries are treated as dialogues. Therefore, a fast response is expected. But how to communicate fast enough having limited human resources? Well, answer is pretty easy: to use bots. Bots never sleep or drink coffee. They can work 24/7. But you may say that humans hate script-like dialogues. Okay, bots aren't smart enough. They just follow scripts by their nature, the algorithmic automation origin. But nowadays, we can employ non-algorithmic wise bots that do not expect that a human being will follow scripting rules while requesting via the messenger. Those bots may use artificial intelligence to understand humans. How? By empowering bot with artificial intelligence software as a service that may treat an inquiry in the context of the up-to-date customer profile available in the single source of truth. That might sound like a magic, but it's achievable today. Moreover, with no coding, just with configuring. I'll show you today how it could be done with two tools: Sugar Integrate to ensure connection between single source of truth in Sugar CRM and various communication channels, and Logic Builder to connect bot with its artificial intelligence brain. So let's start from this point. Let me firstly open a Slack. So today, as an example of communication channel, I'm going to use Slack. And currently you can see a conversation between me and bot. So what is expected? That I type something to bot. Bot recognizes me, first of all, analyze my request and provide me with a reply. Quite simple, yep. So if you try to decompose this task, we will receive three subtasks. First of all is to receive a message. What customer type? Second subtask is to analyze this message. What exactly is requested or asked or something like this. And third subtask is to provide a reply. So to resolve first task, I will switch in between browsers. So here I have open Slack, and now I go to Chrome. So to receive a task, I'm using Sugar Integrate because it has a lot of ready-to-use adapters. So for example, if I would like to connect Sugar with Slack, I'm using ready-to-use adapter for Slack. So I'm just providing auth information and ready to use. It is not enough just to tune this adapter, I mean provide login, password, and rights, access rights, for example, Obviously, it's needed to describe how systems would interact between each other. And that's a point when I'm referring to my previous webinar where we talked about receive payments into a single source of truth, because I'm using here the same procedure that was used for receiving payments. So I'm quickly open it and show that this procedure is quite easy. It's event-based procedure, means that whenever something is happened in source, just grab those data and pull it into receiver. So in today's example, source is Slack. So whenever customer type message to bot, grab this message and pull into receiver, which is sugar, single source of truth. So here I didn't have to create new procedure. I'm just reuse that I already have one to get all in previous webinar payments from Stripe. So I quickly show you one more thing that here is two instances, as you may see. So the first one instance, it's payments. So it was connected to Stripe. And the second one is for Slack, where I configure it instance for Slack and instance for Sugar. So that's the first step. Quite easy. Just get the message and pull it into single source of truth. But where it is stored in Sugar, now I'm going to switch to Sugar instance. So here it was created a module through module builder, just a custom module named external data. So whenever it happens in source, event source in Slack, for today's example, I get this data inside Sugar. You can see now several records on the screen. That's all event description that happen in Slack. It can be message directly to bot. It can be some mention. It can be new user added, and so on. Let me just open and show you a quick example. So you can see here is single line of JSON data, which is not very easy to read, but let me use any JSON beautifier. Hold on a second. Let me beautify it and use form. Much better and easier to read. So, for example, in event description, we have something called element key, and that is how we know where is the source of this event, which is Slack in this example. And if I'm digging down into those description, for example, body, message, row, and so on, for example, to event, I can get, for example, to text what customer is requests, or are there any questions, and so on. So, for example, I see here was the text, how are you doing today? Also, I can identify who actually wrote by finding this parameter in this JSON data. So that is how I am as a human analyze it. But obviously we can't analyze each message with humans. So now it's time to, let me say, configure how to treat messages. For this, I'm using Logic Builder, which is Visual Logic Designer tool for Sugar. With it, I can let's say, describe how Sugar reacts on some particular event. In this example, let me zoom a little bit. It also has a start trigger. Here is example, it's on data change, whenever means that whenever something is changed. And here I defined when something is changed in module external data, because that is place where I get events from source, for example, from Slack. So the next my step is to identify which source of this event, and just evaluating that by name. I'm checking that it is Slack, and also I'm checking that record is new, because whenever something is happened, the new record is created, and proceed to the further steps. The next step is to check what we received from Slack. So we know that this is event from Slack, but what exactly? Because as I mentioned, it can be adding new user or it can be mentioned. Here I'm checking that it is direct message to the bot. And when we're sure that someone wrote to bot, that is part where we are talking about providing bot with artificial intelligence brain. And as this brain, I'm using Amazon web service named Comprehend. Basically, as Amazon states, Comprehend it is a natural language processing service that uses machine learning to find insights and relationships in text. So basically, it analyzes text. Let's do a quick step aside and let me quickly show you how it works. So this is Amazon Comprehend interface for humans. So here, let me scroll a little bit. Here is an example text, just some text that was pulled to Comprehend, and here results of its work. So basically what it can do, it can identify entities in text, for example, whether there are places, dates, locations. Also, it can be obviously trained to identify particularly yours valued entities. For example, it can be products and so on. Also, it can identify some key phrases from text and some other things. For example, identifies the sentiment, whether it's negative text or positive, and we can use it as well in our bot replies. So it's just a small note how it looks like. Let me return to Logic Builder. So what we do here, basically we send text that was typed by user to Amazon Comprehend. How there is ready to use operator. Operator is just this one piece of logic. So I just selected that I want to use AWS Comprehend service, and what exactly I want to do is to detect key phrases. Obviously, I provided some auth information and just grab a text that was received from Sugar Integrate adapter and pull it to Comprehend. And then I analyze results from Comprehend. So this text was analyzed, I got result and identify whether I shall reply with to customer or not. And if we identified, for example, that customer would like to get known all open cases, so we start to do it. We need to firstly identify who wrote us by getting again from those raw data received from adapter who wrote to us and find particular contact in Sugar. Then we receive all cases related to those contacts, and then several steps to create a message by combining different sentences, basically. So, for example, here is greeting, hi, like, hi, Anastasia, how I glad to hear from you. And then, based on results of evaluation, whether there are any cases, there are different type of sentences. So, for example, if there are no any cases, obviously we can type something like there are no cases for you. But if there are some cases, let me scroll a little bit, some variables just. Here we have a kind of loop. Basically, it is a loop. So we grab each case and check whether this case is still open by checking statuses. If yes, we checking whether the case should be resolved prior to date. And if yes, we can type something like, we're really sorry, looks like this case should be closed. Or if there are open cases but dates are okay, we just provide customer with information when this case is going to be closed. And repeat the same steps for each case because it's a cycle. So when we run out of all cases, we return to we can follow this white link to our flow. And here we just merge all these sentences into one message. And the very final step is to create node in Sugar. In this node, we we combined all these sentences into one message to be delivered to our customer. Why it's not? Because there is a short subtask where we are using Sugar Integrate to deliver message to our customer. Again, I'm returning to Sugar Integrate, and here I have another one procedure. That's this time I created a new one to deliver a message. Basically, again, it's event-based procedure. Idea is very similar to the previous one, that whenever something happens in source, but for now source is Sugar, we checking what exactly was happened, like whether it was node created and whether we should send this node to Slack. And if yes, we just grab those description created with Logic Builder right now and return to customer. So basically, why it's very easy to use Sugar Integrate here, because if it's just an example to use Slack, but obviously we can add more branches to check whether it's another one channel, for example, Facebook or Instagram or something else. And basically that's it. That is how easy to connect them, connect several channels into one. And let's probably see how actually it works. So I'm going to open my Slack. Where it is, here it is. So let's try to type to our bot, like, hello bot, would you please show me? Okay, typos can show me my open cases today, and asks a question. So let me quickly show you what happened. I'm returning to Sugar and go to external data module. And you will see now here there is a new entry, because that is what was created by Sugar Integrate procedure. Let me copy this thing into our JSON beautifier to read it easily. Let me beautify, and let me switch to form because I like to expand data. So let's go to event, and you see text. Hello, would you please show me my open cases today? That's what I've have just typed. And this text was grabbed and sent to Amazon Comprehend to analyze, and in example, just to detect key phrases. And for now, Logic designed in Logic Builder should identify me as a contact, find all my open cases, and form a reply. If you remember, it's a node. So let's go to nodes module and see whether we have a reply. So here it is, notify open cases. And you can see here, it's what we composed inside Sugar, like identified who wrote, and also there are two open cases and text, how may I help today? So when this node was created, text was grabbed from Sugar and delivered to Slack. Let's see whether, yep. So there is a new message. So by Sugar Integrate procedure, this message was delivered to me back by support bot. So that is how I get known about my open cases, and I can see that one case isn't closed yet, however it should, but I can see a new result date. So let me return to my PowerPoint presentation. Basically, regarding our live demo, that's it. Just with two tools, Sugar Integrate to align all communication channels, and with Logic Builder to configure how Sugar will react on incoming message and what should be in reply. We can easily make smart bots. So basically, I think that's it for today. Maybe you have some questions. You may type them in question section and I'll try to answer them. For now, looks like there is no questions, but anyway, if you have any, please do not hesitate to contact us. We would be happy to answer them. And let me say that thank you for joining us today. And I really hope that this webinar will help your company to do business effectively in this challenging time. And have a great day and hope to hear from you soon. Bye bye.